Hi and welcome back to the second part of the Aveedo tutorial series. Today we are going to build our first application using the Aveedo designer. You can find the designer right here under the person icon. So the Aveedo designer kind of replaces the Domino designer, and you can use it to build, migrate and manage your applications. So today we are going to build a very simple little database application, an IT inventory database. So the first thing that we need to do is to hit new application and just give that application a name, IT inventory. All right, so let's save that. And now we can already assign this application an instance. So we are going to add an instance and a new database, and that's going to be called IT inventory data. All right. So if I click on that application instance, you can see that we have the tab databases here. Now, of course, Aveedo does not allow you to create .nsf databases as you wish just from Aveedo. This is for security reasons, and also usually the application admins would not per default have the right to just create any database they want to on the Domino server. So what you need to do here is basically assign an existing database. We have just created a blank database in the notes designer, and now you just need to assign that. So as you can see here, right now we have an unknown NSF status, and you can just browse your directory here, and I think we put it in the folder Aveedo. There it is, IT inventory data store. That's basically just a blank database, and don't forget to apply the changes here first. You can already see now here what we used, and you can see here there's a little star, and it works like that, but it's good practice to open the rules tab here and copy paste the name of the destination server to the Aveedo server name, which is something that you use if you want to run this application in a replication cluster on different servers that the application knows to which server and which Aveedo instance it belongs to. All right, apply that change also. And now basically we can close this and close this. Now we have created the application instance, and you can see it here once you reload this view. Now the next thing that we need to do is we need to configure the object, define the document layout and the view layout, and then we are pretty much done. So Aveedo uses object configurations and document layouts. So in the object, we just add all the fields that our object needs to have. And then in the document layout, you can create different layouts, which are all based on that same object configuration. And that is very handy if you want to use the same database in different application with different document layouts. So let's create the object configuration first. We just click on new object definition, type standard. The title is IT inventory, and we need to select the database, the one that we just chose. That was the IT inventory data, and create the object definition. And now we can add all the fields that we want. Now for the purpose of this tutorial, we're just going to keep it simple. Just add 3 fields. The first field is ID, so the ID of our inventory, and the field type is text. Now there are a lot of cool field types here that you can use to do amazing things. We are going to show you how to use these field types like object relations and others in later parts of this tutorial. For now, we just stick to the text type. All right, apply the changes and add 2 more. One is name of the item, and the third one is location, because we want to know where that item currently is. Location, yeah, location, okay. Apply changes. So now we're done here. We have defined the object, and now we can create the document layout. So for that, we create a new layout. The title is IT Inventory. Type is standard. The object, now here you can choose the object, IT Inventory, and create the layout. And here is our nice document layout builder that you can use to just drag and drop all the elements of your document layout. Now I'm going to drag a panel here, just a full width 1 column panel. You can do a lot of configuration here as well, but yeah, we're gonna keep it simple for this tutorial. And here, down below here, are your fields that you just created in that object configuration. So you can just drag and drop these fields, ID, and then maybe location, down here, and the name maybe here. All right. And we can actually preview what we do here by hitting the preview button. And you can see I can already in this preview add items to our database, which is probably a good idea because then it's not empty when we create the layouts and try to preview them. So I'm going to add ID number 1, and the name is MacBook Pro, and the location is room 123. I save that and close it. Works. Nice. So we have that. We can basically close this one here, the document layout. Now, the next step we need to define is the view layout. All right, so the view layout will define how all the documents look. So the title is, again, IT Inventory. The type is a view. Can we click on next? Now we have to select our database again, IT Inventory Data, and objects to use in the view. We have just one object here, it's the IT Inventory object, and we want to create a new view. Next. Now we have to choose a layout. We only have one, but this is the place where you can actually choose different object layouts, document layouts based on the same object, which is pretty handy if you think about it. All right, and now we create the view, and here we go. So now we can add columns to the view. We're just going to add, again, 3 columns here. So the first one is going to be the ID, and it's the field ID. That makes sense. Apply changes. Another column is going to be the name, and you can see here I can, I can play a lot here with a lot of different parameters here, setting the width in percent or pixels, and a lot of other stuff that I can do here. But for now, we just can keep it simple. Name is name. Apply that. And last but not least, we are going to add the field location. And add the field location to that. All right. Now, before you can preview that, you have to compile the view. And in order to be allowed to compile the view, the person who does that needs at least designer rights for that database, right? So that's important to know. So we have compiled the view. We could already preview it here. It looks all right. It looks a little bit awkward because it's very much on the side, but it's all good. We can already see that it probably will work out nice. And so let's go back to our designer here. And now, last but not least, what we are going to do is in our application to basically say what should be the starting page of this application. Now, we don't have a portal, so we're just going to select the view that we just created as the starting page. We can also add a nice description here. Max PCs and more, and select maybe a proper icon. Save that, close it, and now let's go back to our empty instance here of Aveedo and reload it. Now, here's our IT inventory database, and if I click on it, it opens, and we have the MacBook Pro document, which I can edit or delete. Now, as you might have noticed, There's no way to add a new document here, so let's build that, right? So we want to add a new document button in our view layout. So let's go back to the view layout, IT inventory, and here's an actions tab. And I can just add an action here. We're going to call it just new. And the properties is, this is a new document. And here again, I can choose the document layout to use. It's IT inventory. I apply the changes. Then again, I have to compile the view, compile it. And now basically, if we go back to our database here and reload that, you can see that we have the new button. If I click on it, we can enter ID number 2, name that's maybe, I don't know, APC, and location is room 234. Save that, close it, go back. Now you have to reload here. You can see we have 2 items. Now another nice thing that you would want to do is to sort this table by the columns, right? By the column values. That's also really easy to do with Aveedo. So basically we also have to do that in the view here. And here, if I click on the different columns, I can define whether or not I want to sort these columns. So this is the standard view. They can be not sorted. That's all right for me. But what I want to do is I want them to be sortable. So both ascending and descending. Apply these changes to the ID. And let's do that just for all fields. Order both and apply the changes, and also for location order sortable both and apply the changes. And now again we have to compile the view. Now if we go back to our database here and reload that, now we have these pretty little arrows here, and if I click on ID, for example, that's ascending. If I click again, it should be descending. So yeah, I can basically do that for the locations as well. There you go. All right, so that's it for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial where we built our first Aveedo application and the simple IT inventory database. The only prerequisite that you needed for that was to basically create a blank NSF database on the server that you are working on, and from there on, Aveedo, the Aveedo designer, did all the work for you, and now we have a very flexible database that in the next parts of this tutorial we will have a lot of fun with. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and we are looking forward to show you more about Aveedo in the upcoming parts. Stay tuned.